AIM-listed Bacanora Lithium has seen its shares rise to 2019 highs after it announced a private placement to bring on a new cornerstone strategic investor into the business. Bacanora Lithium is focused on its Sonera Lithium flagship asset in Mexico, where it hopes to produce lithium in 2021. The proposed investment is expected to be completed by the 28th of June. Peter Secker is Bacanora's chief executive. Peter, welcome.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Good to talk to you this time. Ganfeng. We know that's the company that's come on to the list of now interested parties in the business. But what do we know about them and their intentions?
So one of the largest lithium producers in the world, but more importantly, a downstream producer. So they own mines, they own processing plants, but they also produce downstream chemicals, lithium chloride, butyl lithium, lithium hydroxide, and then go into cathodes and also have their own battery technology. So they're fully integrated and obviously are looking for a supply chain and they think Mexico and Sonera is a jurisdiction they want to be in.
In terms of size of the company in the global context, how big is Ganfeng?
Third largest lithium producer, market cap 5-6 billion. Recently done an IPO in Hong Kong listing, and raised $420 million US.
Yeah.
So they're a big player.
My understanding is they bought into Bacanora just to the point at which they would have to make an offer for the company. Is that right? 29.9%.
Well, they've come in under the 30%. Yeah. They don't want to own us. They want to help us. They want to be our partner. They want to help us both on a financial basis, obviously funding the project, and also technically. And they have a large technical group, a large engineering group, and they'll help us with the project development and commissioning.
So why are they interested in lithium?
So look at the growth in the automotive industry, and it uses something called a battery-grade lithium carbonate. And furthermore, look at the growth in renewable energy, which needs storage for that transaction. So what Ganfeng are trying to do is secure a supply chain that allows them to grow both domestically in the EV battery and renewable energy, and also grow as a lithium downstream producer. And they see that the battery grade segment still being constrained.
Yeah.
Oversupply of concentrates coming out of Australia, but not enough battery grade material feeding the automotive and renewable energy industry.
How much money now comes onto the balance sheet as a result of this? What's the benefit for investors in Bacanora?
So between the two investments, 29.99 at the corporate level, 22.5 at the asset level, then that's bringing in over £30 million. But more importantly, they're now a 30% shareholder, and also they have the asset level. So 50% of the project financing now falls to our biggest shareholder, which makes the next stage of development much easier.
Well, let's move on to that and take a look now at that deadline of 2021 as production date. It's been pushed out a little bit, I know, since we last spoke. You talk about them now being able to contribute to some of the technical aspects of getting this plant up and running. What do you got to do now, and how much faster are you going to be able to produce things and get things done, I should say, by that deadline of production date, because Ganfeng has come on the books?
Well, we've been moving down the engineering path for the last 12 months. So we've progressed engineering to a point now we're ready to place orders for long lead items. Most of that was going to come from, let's just say, first world suppliers. What Ganfeng believe is that there is sophisticated engineering out of China. They have their own engineering group. They think they can expedite the delivery of some of that key equipment, and also basically have it in place quicker than if we went down the first world route. So they think by using their engineering, using their procurement processes, we can expedite the whole engineering supply chain. And
of course, when production does happen, I know that Ganfeng will be a big off-taker of that, but not the only interested party. Hanwha, as we've spoken about them as well before, they have an interest in this.
That's right.
Is there going to be any sort of competition there in terms of the off-take, or is it just clear percentage?
Correct, clear percentage. Both have the same trading terms, both buying at market, FOB port, Mexico. Obviously some going to Japan, some going to China, but it's all going to Asia.
Yeah, and to clarify as well, especially now with this extra money on the balance sheet, there's no need for any more money from investors. You're not going to go and try and get another money raising, are you?
Well, we still have to, so the project cost is $420 million.
Right. Okay.
We've done the debt component, the $150 million with a red kite. Ganfeng will come in for a third. We already have strategic discussions with SGRF and Hanwha. So yes, we think we've lined up most of this financing.
Okay, so everything we already knew about, basically.
Correct.
Yeah. Let's move on and take a look, if we can, at some other news headlines that's come out recently, because there's been some exciting developments in Germany as well, I know, with the Zinnwald project. You've got an additional exploration license, I believe.
We have. We've been increasing our ground ownership in that part of Germany around Zinnwald. Mining license granted. Feasibility will be out in the next 6 weeks by the end of the first half. It's looking to be a very exciting project.
And where, in terms of proportion, how much is represented by the current market cap for the Zinnwald project? Because presumably most of it is
I would say zero.
Yeah,
I mean, and that's the whole point of spinning it out. We've already said we want to spin it out into a new entity, give it a life of its own. So that has taken a back seat while we've been doing Ganfeng. But once the feasibility is out, we'll look to move that along.
Yeah. So the share price as it is at the moment is pretty much all Sonera then in that case.
I would say 99%.
So let's take a look at this, and I want to take a look at the chart in the context of my comment at the top. Intraday, we have seen this highest trade since the 10th of December. What can you tell investors about the potential for this? I mean, when you start production, obviously it really changes things, but ahead of that, we know it's was it 5 million ton mine?
So global resources are almost 9 million.
Right.
Our stage 2 production gets us to 35,000 tons a year, potentially high if we want to. It's a 250-year resource. Yeah. What Ganfeng were excited about was it's a clay, and they've been looking at clays in North America for quite a while. So they like the clay mineralogy, they like the fact that it's scalable, and they like the fact that it produces a high quality battery grade final product. Yeah. So yes, I mean, over the next 18 months you're going to see proceeding with the first stages of construction, and then various stages of the development, and then commissioning early in 2021.
So what are the catalysts we should watch out for to give us an indication that the share price might tick higher given the news that we don't already know?
Okay, so the main thing is for the last 2 years we've been looking at strategic investors. And obviously we have a number of corporates. We've now moved down the path of bringing in an operating company as our partner. So you're seeing us move from a development company into a construction company. So development, construction, commissioning, operations, cash flow by 2021.
Peter Secker is Bacanora's Chief Executive, talking there about the new investor on the register.